Hi guys, welcome back.
If you just keep raiding each other, do you think it'll even ever end?
Spoiler alert, the characters, the touching message that the cute Neel conveys, and the intriguing story elements in Episode 4 are what keep Star Wars Skeleton Crew a naturally attractive program. In Episode 4, the members of Skeleton Crew are placed on a new planet. The team soon discovered that Kh'ymm's coordinates from Skeleton Team Episode 3 had led them to a comparable planet called At Achrann, not At Attin, as they had assumed. I was curious to see if Episode 4 would reveal any new information, because the mystery behind Skeleton Crew's knowledge, At Attin, hung over the plot of the show. Episode 4 suffers from a similarly undeveloped plot, following last week's relatively disorganized episode. Nevertheless, it has all of the same charm and endearing characters as before, so I can't help but appreciate the program. Episode 4 of Skeleton Crew carried on the show's hot streak by focusing on a character for whom I expressed my love in my review of Episode 1. Skeleton Crew Episode 4 makes up for its story gap with abundant heart. The journey of Neel is a beautiful, timely message.
And I chased him all around the house until he jumped on my head and I fell in the credenza.
The journey on At Achrann is mostly devoid of further plot elements until the final few moments in which SM-33, Skeleton Crew's resident droid, unveils some secrets about At Attin. Beforehand, the children and Jude Law's Crimson Jack are thrust into a conflict between two tribes on the ruined At Achrann. Overall, the significant plot development of the lost planet of unending treasure takes a back seat, which initially disappointed me, but it was replaced with such a strong emotional core that I found myself not caring. Perhaps because of his extreme cuteness, Neel is one of the best characters on the program. This is made much more charming in Episode 4, because Neel is given a story that everyone in the Star Wars galaxy may learn from. In a world full of negativity, both in the real world and in the universe, Neel's insistence on not hurting people,
I don't want to hurt anybody,
and on being kind, caring, and compassionate is incredibly relevant. This only made Neel one of my favorite current Star Wars characters. And it even gave him a little love story that made me genuinely swoon. Jod Na-Nawud, played by Jude Law, blends in perfectly with the young cast of Skeleton Crew. At first, I thought it would take the entire season for Jude Law's character Jod to start showing affection for the children he was paired with, but Skeleton Crew's 4th episode showed differently. Law does a great job portraying Jod, and his warmth and charisma make him instantly likable. Furthermore, the episode's high point is his amusing exchanges with Nick Frost's SM-33. Additionally, there are hints of Jod's affection for the children, such as his saving them from a violent conflict between tribes and his tender embrace upon their return. I'm excited to see more of the relationship between Jod, Neel, Kh'ymm, KB, and Fern, because of this and Law's relaxed performance. It's important to note that as Fern hits her breaking point, Ryan Kiera Armstrong performs her best work to date. Episode 4 of Skeleton Crew has known pacing problems. The erratic pacing of the series was something I noted in my assessment of Skeleton Crew Episode 2, and it was partially maintained in Episode 4. The episode ended very abruptly, even though it was lengthier than its two predecessors. In a hilarious sequence at the end of the episode, Neel passes out after nearly being assaulted by SM-33. Expecting a scene or two to close out the show, I watched this with a smile on my face, but instead I saw the closing credits. This was unexpected and might have been a result of Skeleton Crew first being proposed as a film before being developed into a television program. However, considering how instantly likable the show is due to almost everything else, these pacing problems are insufficient to declare it a failure. I don't see my admiration for Skeleton Crew becoming stale very soon if these characteristics persist. Thanks for coming.
You don't have any ancient maps or any star charts?